I give Netflix her one chance of producing something meaningful for her platform. I told last week that this was going to be a great movie surprise this year, but it was just a regular cheesy Netflix movie. So let's talk about Heart of Stone, if you might like it, and the spoilers discussion and my main regard for this movie. So please just don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Like, it takes 2 seconds and makes a massive difference for the channel. So let's go with this video. So first of all, I'll share some thoughts here without spoilers for those who want to understand what this movie is like, whether it's good or not, etc. So in this case, I really wanted to recommend this movie, but it's going to be difficult. I mentioned that I hope this film would catch people by surprise, but it surprised them just like Snake in Metal Gear Solid, stabbing you in the back. So I don't have the energy to criticize this film because it doesn't motivate me to do so. The criticism isn't any different. It's the same disappointment we see in most action movie promises on Netflix. Just like The Gray Man was that, a colossal expectation of an action espionage film with Ryan Gosling, which, despite being a decent movie, fell far short of the initial expectations. So Heart of Stone had even lower expectations and turned out to be even worse. But, well, it's a film that's worth watching if you have nothing else to see, especially since you're already subscribed to Netflix, so why not give it a shot? And this film is basically about a team that wants to capture a device that can hack into everything and essentially predict the future. Quite an unusual concept, by the way, and Gal Gadot is there to prevent this with excessive action and lots of special effects. The performances are okay, but the script generally makes me question if it was written by an artificial intelligence because of how generic it is. It's like a cheap version of Ethan Hunt and James Bond, and Gal Gadot can't even come close. Not just due to the smaller budget, but also because of her limited charisma. If she didn't have the beauty of a goddess, she'd probably be working in C-level movies, I'm not even kidding. And the action scenes really saved the film from being a never-ending disappointment. Even though there are a few surprises, the ending is as disappointing and generic as possible. Watching this film sometimes makes me wonder if the screenwriters really deserve a raise, because seriously, what a mess this film was. Anyway, if you enjoy action and if, like me, you find Gal Gadot very attractive, it's a mediocre film in the end of the day. A 5 out of 10, which really represents the Netflix these days. Now, on to spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, go watch it and come back here, but if you're ready for some in-depth discussion, stay tuned for what I have to say. Going back to the plot, Gal is part of MI6 doing espionage missions and captures. However, she's a double agent working for another group that also operates around the world called the Charter. And they use this device, the Heart, which is an AI that predicts the future, essentially aiding the spies on Gal Gadot's team, who are oddly named after playing cards, I don't get it, but it serves only as a crutch in the script. And those scenes with the holographic computers, like Iron Man style, whoever thought it was cool to clutter our view with that nonsense, please resign, because my goodness, it was embarrassingly bad. Nothing against the actor who did that, but that was awful. Then Gal Gadot and the MI6 team find this hacker who wants to steal the device and discover that her partner in MI6 was with this hacker the whole time and had been undercover. What a lousy intelligence agency that has to have 2 cover-up agents. And this actor, who even starred in 50 Shades of Grey, received a lot of criticism, but I actually quite enjoyed his performance in the movie. He's good with action movies. I wouldn't mind seeing him more often in this genre. So jumping already in the action sequences, Gal Gadot was great in that aspect. The film is general excelled in shooting and fighting scenes. They didn't hold back on details. The motorcycle, snow, and parachute scenes were good, but especially the motorcycle scenes were terrifying. The lighting and angles were terrible. Like, they clearly used a horrendous green screen to do that. The scenes were good in general, but they felt really artificial. And Tom Cruise has spoiled us with his scenes and the difference we've seen between shooting with VFX and without it makes a huge impact on the end. And the story basically revolves around stopping the hacker and the former agent from getting their hands on this almost divine device. The hunt for it, which could be used for who knows what, like stabilizing global relationships again or something, now had the hackers' help, who joined forces with Gal to retrieve the device. Hollywood, please stop creating devices that hack into everything on Earth. We are tired of that show. Be more original, please. and I wanted to talk more about the film. I really did, but its story is generally a failure. The characters are entirely forgettable. You don't feel happy or sad for them. They are personality-less and empty, poorly written characters, and Gal doesn't save the situation. Look, I like her, but she's almost a mediocre actress in general. Her accent makes her speech rhythm really hard to follow, and she lacks emotion and transmitting feelings. And as the lead actress, unless she stars in a film like John Wick, where she barely speaks and just fights, which would just be incredible, and I'll fully support it, or if she gets more suitable roles, she'll keep ranking in money for films, but that might change since she's been making mostly bad movies lately. I will never, and I repeat, never forget Wonder Woman 1984. So, at your own risk, if you want to watch this film, go ahead. Fortunately, it didn't hit theaters, otherwise it would have been a resounding failure. So let's hope streaming services produce more generally good movies and fewer horrible, expensive films. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe and give it a like. It really helps the channel. It only takes 2 seconds to do it. I'll see you guys on the next video, on the next review. So goodbye and peace.